So when I first got out of prison, I chose to go to a transitional house for my first 6 months because I wanted to return to my hometown and my family a blessing and not a burden. And I also wanted to prove to myself that I could do it. And I always ran from struggles and I ran from pain. So I wanted to feel the everyday struggles of getting back on your feet. And so in that time, I learned a lot about life and about being a grown-up. And I finally decided to come back to home, Houston. And when I did, I got into a relationship and I started to build a family. Well, then it came time for me to be able to take it to the next level. I wanted to get an apartment. And so I tried to do that. And I wanted it in my name. I didn't want it in anybody else's name because I felt like in my own mind that was a catch-out move. I wanted to get everything in my name. So when you're trying to raise a family, the only ones that are accepting of felons' apartments are ones that are maybe not the most desirable, okay? And I knew that in the end, if I had to, I would. Well, it came to the point where every place I went, they would turn me down. And I'd be real straight up. As soon as I walk in, I'm like, hey, look, you all accept felons? Okay, you have a good day. Well, God opened another door. He said, I've got something better for you. So he provided the opportunity for me to get a house, to possibly purchase a house. And that wasn't in my year plan at all, my year plan out. And in that process, I remember going to the lender and explaining to her, like, hey, I'd love to buy a home. And of course, they're very welcoming, like, oh, yeah, of course, you come on in, do this and that. And she started asking these things, and I'd been building up my credit, saving a little bit of money. And she gets to the point where she asks about my employment. She says, hey, do you have 2 years of employment? And I'm like, I've only been out a year. I was like, ma'am, no, ma'am, I don't. She's like, nowhere in your past that you can piece together 2 years. I'm like, no, ma'am, I don't. And to be quite honest with you, I just got out of prison a year ago, and I'm trying to get on my feet. And I grew up in prison, and all the experience I have was in prison. I was like, but this is what I did with my time. I went to school, I did all these things, and I got my associate's degree. And she's like, oh, wow. She's like, wait, did you get an associate's degree? Like real college? I'm like, yeah, like real college. And she told me, she says, I can help you. I like your story, and I see that you want to change. And we can use your college as work history. 3 months later, I bought my first house.